My girlfriend said, "I've been completely honest with you about everything." Then her phone rang. Caller ID said, "Husband." I answered it. When a man said, "Hey babe, when are you coming home?" and I realized I'd been the side guy for 18 months. I, 31 male, am writing this from my apartment where 3 days ago I found out my girlfriend of 18 months is married with a kid. Still feels fake when I type it. Met Kira, 29, at a coffee shop. She was reading a book I loved. We started talking. Seemed perfect. She said she worked remote for tech company, traveled a lot for client meetings. Made sense because she'd disappear for days, but we texted constantly. We spent weekends at my place, never hers. Said her roommate was super weird about guests. I bought it. My apartment was nicer anyway. 3 days ago she was on my couch. I was doing dishes. Her phone rang on the coffee table. Caller ID, "Husband?" I stared at it, picked it up, answered. "Hey babe, when you coming home? Izzy's asking about you." Guy's voice. Comfortable, familiar. "Who's this?" I said, long pause. "Who the hell are you? Where's Kira?" "Noah, Kira's boyfriend. Who's Izzy?" "Her daughter. I'm Blake, her husband. Where is my wife?" The bathroom door opened. Kira walked out, saw me with her phone, went white. "Noah, I can explain. Your husband wants to know when you're coming home. Your daughter is asking about you." Swat, she lunged for the phone. I held it away. "Blake, you should come get your wife. I'll text you my address." "On my way." Hung up, looked at Kira. "You're married. It's not what you think. You have a daughter." "Noah, how old?" "How old is Izzy?" 4. 4 years old. A whole kid, a whole husband, a whole life I knew nothing about. "Get out. Noah, please just listen. Get out, now." She started grabbing stuff, crying, trying to explain. Kept saying it's complicated, and I was going to tell you, and I really love you. I didn't say anything, just stood there holding her phone. She left. I locked the door. Blake showed up maybe 30 minutes later. Big guy, looked exhausted and pissed. "How long?" he asked. "1.5 years." Jesus. She told me she started a new project, had to travel for work, sometimes stayed near client offices. I believed her. She told me the same thing. We stood there, 2 idiots. "She mentioned me?" Blake asked. "Never." "Yeah, she never mentioned you either. I'm home with our kid while she's..." He couldn't finish. We just stood there for a minute, then he left. I sat on my couch and stared at the wall for like 3 hours. Next morning, Tira started blowing up my phone. Must have sent like 50 texts. "Noah, please. I can explain everything. It's not what it looks like. Blake and I haven't been good for years. I was going to leave him. I just needed time. I love you. Please talk to me." I sent one message back. "Don't contact me. We're done." She replied immediately. "Noah, please. I can explain. Blake and I are basically roommates. Haven't been intimate in years. I was going to file for divorce, but I needed to do it right for Izzy. I love you. Only you. Please." Blocked her. Then I looked her up properly. Found her Facebook. Public profile. Wedding photos from 6 years ago. Baby pictures. Family vacations. Blake's arm around her. Izzy on her lap. The whole happy family thing. And mixed in? Recent posts. Date night at restaurants I'd taken her to. Weekend getaway from trips we'd taken together. Carefully cropped so I wasn't in them. Captions like "treating myself" and "self-care Saturday." She documented our entire relationship publicly while hiding me. I felt like the world's biggest moron. Blake contacted me couple days later, found me on social media, asked if we could meet. I said yeah, met at a bar, both ordered whiskey. Seemed appropriate. I kicked her out, Blake said. That night, after I picked her up from your place, told her to leave. Where'd she go? Her sister's. She tried the whole "it's complicated" thing with me too. I told her to save it. How's your daughter? Confused. Asking why mommy's not home. I told her mommy's at Aunt Jenna's for a bit. He took a drink. Don't know what to tell a 4-year-old about this. That's rough. Want to know the really messed up part? Found receipts. She's been using our joint credit card for your dates. The one I thought was for business expenses. My stomach dropped. What? Yeah, fancy dinners, hotels, that wine country weekend you mentioned. I paid for half of that. I paid for most of our stuff, I said. But sometimes she'd insist on treating me. With my money. Blake laughed, but it wasn't funny. She charged like $3,000 in 6 months on stuff for you two. I thought it was client dinners and work hotels. We kept talking, comparing notes. The picture got worse. She told Blake she was working on a major project that needed travel. told me the same thing with different clients. Weekdays with Blake and Izzy, weekends and some weeknights with me. Whenever there was overlap, she claimed emergency meetings or project deadlines. 18 months, Blake said. 18 months of lying to both of us every single day. You ever suspect anything? No. She was good. Really good. She'd come home from work trips and tell me about conferences, people she met, had answers for everything. Same. She'd tell me about her roommate's drama, her coworkers, all fake. She doesn't have a roommate. That's me and Izzy. We kept going through stuff. Blake showed me Kira's Instagram post from 4 months ago. Girls' trip. With her sister. I knew that weekend. That was when Kira and I went to the coast. She told me her sister canceled last minute. She told you she was with Jenna? I asked. Yeah, sister bonding time. Even called me from Jenna's place to say goodnight to Izzy. She called me that same night from the hotel bathroom. Every trip, every work event, every girls' night, we matched them up. She'd been juggling both of us perfectly. Why? Blake asked. If she wasn't happy with me, why not just divorce? Why drag you into it? She told me she'd been single for a while before we met. She tell you about Izzy? Never. Blake looked at his drink. She's not a great mom. I love my daughter, but Kira's always been distant. Like motherhood wasn't what she expected. I do most of the parenting. She'd use work to escape. So she was escaping her family and pretending to be single with me. Looks like it. I'm filing for divorce, Blake said. Already got a lawyer. Adultery matters here. I'm documenting everything. You need me to testify? If it comes to that, yeah. Would you? Absolutely. She doesn't get to wreck both our lives and walk away clean. We exchanged numbers. He showed me pics of Izzy. Cute kid. She deserves better than this, Blake said, looking at his daughter's photo. When we left, I felt weird. Not better exactly, but less alone. 2 days later, Kira showed up at my apartment. I have a Ring doorbell. Saw her before she knocked. She looked terrible. Part of me felt bad. The other part remembered 18 months of lies. Opened the door, left the chain on. What do you want? To talk, please. 5 minutes. No, Noah, please. I need to explain. You're married. You have a kid. You lied about everything. What's to explain? It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. Go home. Oh wait, you don't have one. Your husband kicked you out. Low blow. Don't care. I love you, she said. I really do. Blake and I have been over for years. Only stayed for Izzy. That's so cliché, I'm almost impressed. It's true. We're basically roommates. Haven't been happy since she was born. I wanted out, but didn't know how. So you dated me for 18 months while living with your husband? That was the solution? I was gonna tell you, I needed time to figure out how to leave Blake properly. 18 months wasn't enough time, she cried harder. I was scared of losing you if you knew. Scared of hurting Izzy, scared of starting over. So you just lied. Yes, okay, yes, I lied because I was a coward, but my feelings for you are real. What we had was real. We had nothing real, it was all lies. Please, I'll do anything, I'll get divorced, I'll make this right, just don't shut me out. You're not getting divorced for me. You're getting divorced because you cheated on your husband with me for 18 months. Noah. I talked to Blake, we compared notes. Know about the credit card, about using his money for our dates, all the lies you told both of us. Her face changed, desperate to angry. You talked to my husband? Yeah, turns out we have a lot in common. You had no right? I had every right. You made me part of this. She switched back to crying. I made mistakes, but people make mistakes. You can't throw away what we had because I wasn't perfect. This isn't about perfect. You don't forget to mention your husband and kid. If you really loved me, you'd forgive me. Give me a chance to make this right. And there it was. If you really loved me, you wouldn't have lied to my face every day for 18 months. We're done. Don't come back. Closed the door. She stood there for a minute, then left. Got a text from Blake an hour later. Kira called screaming about how we're conspiring against her and refusing to understand her side. FYI. She was just here. Tried the whole I love you thing. Tried that with me too after I kicked her out. Didn't work. Want to meet up tomorrow? Compare manipulation tactics? Yeah. Met next day. Blake brought a folder. Lawyer's idea, document everything. Credit card statements, texts, receipts, calendar entries. Evidence of the double life. She spent $8,000 of our joint money in the past year on you, Blake said. dinners, hotels, gifts, trips, 8 grand, while I'm working overtime to pay mortgage and daycare. I never asked her to pay. I know, she volunteered so she'd feel less guilty. Plus she could tell me it was work expenses and I'd reimburse her from our joint account. He showed me texts between him and Tira, her telling him she was at conferences, sending fake itineraries, photos from hotel lobbies she claimed were client offices. She's really committed to lying, I said. That's what scares me for divorce. If she can lie this easy, what else is she capable of? Blake showed me more texts. After he kicked her out, she'd been staying with her sister Jenna. But Jenna was getting tired of it. Jenna called yesterday, Blake said. Told me Tira's playing victim, saying I was controlling and emotionally absent, and she had to find happiness somewhere. Jenna's not buying it, said this is classic Tira. What do you mean? Tira did this before. In college she dated 2 guys at once, told each one the other was just a friend. Jenna thought she grew out of it. Great, so I'm part of a pattern. We both are. Blake's phone rang. He looked at it and sighed. Her mom answered on speaker. Blake, honey, I heard what happened, Kira's mom Janet said, sympathetic tone. I'm so sorry. Thanks, Janet. I want you to know I think what Kira did was unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Blake and I looked at each other. I appreciate that. But, Janet continued, there it was. I do think you're being harsh, kicking her out, refusing to talk. That's extreme. She made a mistake, but she's still Izzy's mother. She had an affair for 18 months. That's not a mistake. Well, yes, but marriages are complicated. Maybe if you two communicated better, worked on your intimacy, she wouldn't have felt the need to look elsewhere. Blake's jaw clenched. Are you blaming me for her cheating? I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying it takes 2 people to break a marriage. It takes one person to step outside the marriage and start a whole other relationship. You're being very black and white, Blake. Life is messy. People make mistakes. If you love someone, you forgive. I love my daughter, which is why I'm protecting her from learning that lying is okay if you feel justified. Janet sighed. Fine, be stubborn. But don't cry to me when Izzy grows up without her mother because you couldn't be the bigger person. Blake hung up. Wow, I said. Yeah, that's Kira's family. Nothing's ever her fault. We kept going through evidence. It got worse. Kira told Blake she was taking online classes to advance her career. He paid for them. The classes didn't exist. She claimed her car needed repairs multiple times. Blake paid. Car was fine. She said she was helping Jenna with expenses after Jenna lost her job. Blake sent money. Jenna never lost her job and never got money. Where'd it all go? I asked. Probably to fund her other life. Nice clothes, makeup, spa days to look good for you. She never mentioned money problems, because I was funding her side piece lifestyle without knowing. Blake's phone buzzed. Text from Tira. I know you're with Noah. Jenna saw you at the bar. You guys are pathetic, bonding over hating me. Hope it makes you feel like big men. Blake showed me. I took his phone and typed, actually makes us feel like idiots for not seeing through your lies sooner, but we're learning. 3 seconds later, she called. Blake answered, speaker on. Don't you dare respond to my texts, Kira screamed. Blake, what the hell? You're letting him use your phone? He's helping me catalog your lies. There's a lot to cover. You two are sick, getting together to bash me, making me the villain when my life is falling apart. Your life is falling apart because you destroyed it, Blake said calmly. We're just documenting. I needed both of you. Don't you get it? Blake, you stopped looking at me like a woman years ago. I'm just Izzy's mom and the laundry person. And Noah, you were suffocating, always wanting to know where I was. I needed space. Space? I said. You spent 2 to 3 nights a week at my apartment. That's different. How? Blake asked. It just is. You wouldn't understand. Neither of you understand what it's like to feel trapped. So you started another relationship instead of talking to me? Blake asked. Like you would have listened. You're always so perfect, so rational, so boring. Blake actually laughed. There it is. Not that you felt trapped. You were bored. Don't put words in my mouth. You just said it. She was crying again. You guys are bullies. That's what this is. Bullying. I made mistakes, but you're torturing me. We're building a divorce case, Blake said. Lawyer calls it discovery. You're actually divorcing me? For real? Did you think I wasn't? I thought with time you'd calm down. We could do counseling, work through this. Kira, you cheated on me for 18 months while spending my money on your affair. There's nothing to work through. Fine, divorce me. See if I care. But I'm getting half of everything, Blake. Half the house, half your retirement, everything, and I'm getting custody of Izzy because I'm her mother. You abandoned your daughter multiple nights a week to sleep with your boyfriend. I was working. No. I said, you were with me. Silence. I hate both of you. Hung up. Blake put his phone down. Well, that was fun. By the time we left, Blake had everything for his lawyer. I had a statement typed up about my relationship with Kira. Thanks, Blake said. I know this is weird, but having someone who gets it helps. Yeah, it does. Driving home, I realized something. I wasn't heartbroken anymore, just angry. Angry I wasted 18 months on someone who saw me as a prop. Angry Blake was losing his marriage and his daughter's stability. But mostly grateful I found out when I did, before I proposed, before I got more tangled in her mess. Got home to an email from Kira. Long thing about how I betrayed her by talking to Blake, how I broke girl code, we're not girls, how I'm just as bad as Blake. Deleted it. It's been 3 months. Blake's divorce went fast. When you have documented proof of adultery, financial fraud, and abandoning your kid for an affair, things move quick. Kira fought it hard. Got a lawyer, tried claiming Blake was controlling and emotionally abusive. Said I was vindictive. Her lawyer painted her as trapped in an unhappy marriage, who made a mistake. Blake's lawyer destroyed that. They had phone records showing Kira texting me and Blake simultaneously for months, coordinating lies. Receipts showing her charging personal stuff to joint card claiming it was work. Her own Instagram posts documenting our relationship while lying to Blake. The custody hearing was brutal, according to Blake. She claimed she was the better parent. Blake told me over lunch. We'd started meeting every couple weeks. Told the judge I was distant and she was the primary caregiver. What'd the judge say? Asked her to explain why daycare records showed I did all pickups and drop-offs, and why Izzy's pediatrician had only met me, never her. Damn. Yeah, her lawyer tried to talk about quality time versus quantity time. Judge wasn't having it. Asked Kira directly how many bedtimes she'd done in 6 months. What'd she say? Couldn't answer, because the real answer was maybe 5 out of 180 nights. Blake got primary custody. Kira got supervised visitation every other weekend until she completes parenting classes. She lost the house, only got 30% of assets because of the money she stole for our relationship, has to pay Blake back $8,000. She called after the judgment, Blake said, screaming about how the judge was biased, the system's rigged, her lawyer was incompetent. Any responsibility? Not even a little, still the victim. She tried contacting you, blocked her everywhere, but she tried from other numbers, always begging for another chance or accusing me of conspiring with you to destroy her. Blake paid for lunch like always, said technically she already bought you enough meals with my money. How's Izzy? She's okay, asks about mom sometimes. I keep it simple, say mommy's working on being better. My therapist says that's right. You're in therapy? Started right after I kicked her out. Needed help processing. You should try it. Maybe. We talked about normal stuff. Work, life. Weird how comfortable the friendship had become. Hey, Blake said as we left. Having a thing next week for Izzy's 5th birthday, small party, you should come. Me? Yeah, you're my friend, and you unknowingly helped me see my marriage was a lie. That's a weird reason to celebrate at a kid's party. Come anyway. I went. Met Izzy for the first time. Smart kid. Blake's clearly doing good with her. His parents were there, his sister, some friends, normal people having a normal party, no Kira. Her supervised visit was the next weekend. Blake's sister pulled me aside. So you're Noah? Yep. Blake told me everything. That's rough. Yeah. For what it's worth, never liked Kira. She always seemed fake, like performing instead of being real. Pretty accurate. Blake seems better now, lighter. She was right. Blake looked happy, tired but happy. Leaving the party, Blake walked me out. Thanks for coming. Thanks for inviting me. Weird how this worked out. My wife cheats on me with you. We become friends. Now you're at my daughter's birthday. Life's strange. You doing okay? Yeah, I am. Still sucks sometimes, but I'm not drowning. Good. You deserve better than what she gave you. You too. I drove home feeling weirdly at peace. I'd spent 18 months with someone who didn't exist. The Kira I dated was a character. The real Kira was someone who lied to her husband and ignored her daughter while spending his money on her affair. Blake and I dodged bullets. Izzy's growing up with a parent who shows up. Kira? She's living with her sister, working retail part-time, seeing her daughter twice a month under supervision, still convinced everyone else is the problem. Blake told me she started dating someone new. Guy she met online. He has no idea about her daughter or ex-husband or history. Should we warn him? Blake texted. Would he believe us? Probably not. Then he'll figure it out. Some people never learn. Kira's one of them. She'll keep making messes, blaming everyone else, never looking in the mirror. Not my problem anymore. Blake and I still meet for lunch every few weeks. Sometimes we talk about the whole situation. Sometimes just normal stuff. He's a good friend. One I never would have had if his wife hadn't cheated on him with me. Weird how life works. That's where I'm at. No perfect ending. No dramatic revenge. Just real life. Messy, complicated real life. Kira's facing consequences. Lost her marriage, lost custody, lost assets, lost respect, but she's still out there lying, still refusing to take responsibility. Blake's moving forward. Izzy's adjusting. I'm healing. Sometimes that's enough.